Hey, have y'all seen Is God Is yet? Don't worry, I'm not giving any spoilers in this video, although I have made another video where I go into more detail around what happens in the movie and give more of an esoteric cosmological analysis of what Aleshea Harris made, whether she realizes that that's what she made or not. But for this video, you don't have to have seen the movie and there's no spoilers in it. This is more around the conversation that the movie is starting, and it's not around rage, which is mostly what I'm seeing people talk about. To me, the conversation is around what mothers pass down to daughters in terms of assignment or trauma or wisdom or healing, and how that's passed through the body and across generations. And I don't mean you got to go and see the movie, although probably seeing the movie is cool too. This is more about being willing to look at your own lineage, and that does not require anything external. But before we get into it, let me tell you who I am. I am Barbara Ohuninifa. I am a griot, an author, a ancestral strategist, and the founder of Beautiful Powerful Love, which is a storytelling movement for the liberation, remembering, and healing of Black women at a crossroads. Now, if that sounds like your jam, hit subscribe, hit like, and ring the bell so that you know when there's more content and resources to help you along your journey. So with that, let's get into it. Okay, so let's set the groundwork of what we know already. We know that this is a movie, first of all, written and directed by a Black woman who is a playwright, and this movie started out as a play in 2018 that was won awards and all the things. And Aleshea Harris, as a playwright, is now the director, and this is her first time directing and translating her own play into the big screen. So it's like kudos. We already giving big ups to a Black woman for doing her thing and giving support for that. Not to mention all of the heavy hitters that are actually in the film itself, and the two newcomers. Well, newcomers to me that played the twins. But the premise of the plot is, and we've seen this all in the trailers, is that an abusive husband man sets his wife on fire and burns her and burns the toddler children, the two girls, the twins as well. And the girls grew up thinking that their mother was dead, but she summons them at one point at the beginning of at the earlier part of the movie, and to for them to come to her so she can give them an assignment. And as we all know, that assignment is to make your daddy dead, real dead. And I know people are all in an uproar about that, but that's the part of the premise of the movie. That's part of the plot. She gives them this assignment as she's bedridden and on her way to dying from what she's been surviving ever since he set her on fire. And they do a little flashback and you see how it happens and all the things. So that's as much as I'm going to tell you about the plot. This is as much as we all know. We know that they go on a quest to make their daddy dead for what he did to them and to their mother, who they look at as God, or at least one of them refers to her as God because she made them. We have a mother who survived something, a mother who survived something but couldn't complete something. So she calls her daughters to her and passes them the assignment that she could not finish. That, in essence, is ancestral transmission. And let me go further and break it down for you. So, your mother or your grandmother or the woman who raised you or the woman whose blood you carries, even if you've never met her, survived something. Even if she's passed now, she survived something long enough to birth you. Maybe you know what it is that she survived. Maybe you only know the edges of it. Maybe you carry the effects of it in your body, but you don't have a name for it or even realize that it has a cause that predates you. Trauma researchers, and I want to name Resmaa Menakem in particular, he has done work on racialized trauma in the body, and that work is essential. And he talks about how unprocessed pain doesn't just stay contained in one person, it moves. It travels through the nervous system of the family, through behavior, through patterns, through the assignments that get passed without even being spoken. Your mother didn't have to say, here is what I need you to carry. She showed you. in what she could not do, or what she did, or what she overcorrected, or what she determined you would accomplish because she could not, and what she was so wounded by that she passed the wound itself before she could pass the wisdom. The body is the archive. Your body is holding the record of what your maternal lineage survived. And I know this firsthand. If you know my story, all the things that this body has been through didn't just start in this lifetime. The aortic dissections, the pheochromocytoma, none of the things that I have physically made it through and survived that medical doctors would say, how did you survive that? Didn't start with me. It came through maternal lineage. And the body is the record, and there's also the assignment in there with the records and with the archive. Assignments come in different forms, and let me name a few so that you can locate yourself. Some of you receive the assignment of achievement. Your mother survived poverty, or maybe limited access, or being told she was not enough, and she passed you the assignment to accomplish everything she could not, to be the first, to prove something, to succeed in ways that the people who limited her would have to acknowledge. And that assignment is real. I can attest to that assignment. My mother would always say, be able to take care of yourself and whatever children you have. And education is the key. And I can tell you beyond a doubt, all my mama's children got at least 2 degrees, myself included. So it's a real assignment. And in some cases, it has a cost that your mother may not have seen because she was so focused on the goal. And some of you received the assignment of survival, like your mother got through, she endured, and she taught you, consciously or not, that endurance is the primary virtue, that getting through is the highest aim, that rest is dangerous and softness is a liability. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that assignment kept you alive for reals, but it also may be slowly killing you. And when we say your mother taught, again, it could be whoever that feminine energy is that raised you, whether it's a grandmama, a great grandmama, or any other caretaker. And some of you receive the assignment of silence, that your mother learned in very specific ways that Black women learn, that her voice was not safe in certain situations, in certain rooms. And she passed you the sophisticated skill of knowing when to speak and when to disappear, when to be visible and when to make yourself small enough so that you survive the room, survive the moment. We all know that very well. I talked about some of this in my first book, From Fat, Black, and Unlovable to Beautiful, Powerful Love. All these plantation proverbs, these pieces of wisdom that we receive that served a survival purpose at one point, but later on in the generations to come actually serve more as shackles. And some of you, maybe most of you, received the assignment that your mother received from her mother, without examination, without questioning, without stopping to ask, is this even mine to carry? Does this assignment belong to me? Does it belong to us? Or did we inherit it from a woman who inherited from a woman who inherited from a woman who never had the safety to put it down, to walk away from it? Or who gave it to the earth, but somehow it's still with us? I want to speak directly to or about the mothers in your lineage who could not finish what they started. And this is not to critique them, but to honor them. There are women in your ancestral line who were stopped by violence, by poverty, by systems that were specifically designed to stop them, by the particular intersection of being Black and being a woman in a country that seeks only to extract from that intersection. These women had things they were trying to do, justice they were trying to reach, healing they were trying to find, a life they were trying to build that kept getting dismantled over and over and over again. And they passed the unfinished thing forward to their daughters and their daughters, because we're talking about lineage at this point. Because they had nowhere else to put it, it got passed forward. If they didn't give it to the earth, it got passed forward. Audre Lorde, which I will always come back to her, wrote that Black mothers pass on the knowledge of survival and the wisdom of survival together. But she also knew that survival is not the same as liberation. And the assignment your mother passed to you may be a survival assignment when what your soul is actually here for is liberation. And those are not the same assignment. You are allowed to examine which one you are actually carrying and which one you want to carry forward. Here's how you begin to examine that assignment. Ask yourself, what has been the organizing principle of my life that I did not consciously choose? Ask that question, do some breath work, ground yourself, and just receive the answer. Things that you did not choose, not what you want. What has been running underneath what you want? The current you're swimming in, the assumption that you have been operating from about what you are for, what you owe, what you must accomplish before you can rest. That is the assignment. And now ask, where did it come from? Was it truly mine? Was it your mother's? Was it her mother's? Did it travel through your father's line? Was it passed to you by a community, a church, or a culture that had specific ideas about what a Black woman's life was supposed to be for? Meaning, was it supposed to be for serving others? Whether it's a church, your man, the community, a job, whatever that is. You don't have to know the full origin story. You just have to notice that it did not come from you, it didn't originate with you. And because here's the truth ancestral mothers want you to hold. Not every assignment that was passed to you is yours to complete. Some of them were passed because the woman who gave them to you had no one else to give them to. Not because you are the designated carrier, not because your soul agreed to it before you arrived, but because she was in pain and you were there. You are allowed to examine it. You are allowed to ask, is this mine? And if it's not, you are allowed to return it to the earth with love and without guilt. If that ancestral mother was not able to give it to the earth, then that actually is your assignment. If it's not fully your assignment to complete, completing it is also giving it to the earth for the earth to complete it. And that's not betrayal of your mother or your maternal lineage. It is the healing that she could not do for herself because she was surviving and navigating and making it through. And we give thanks for that. Here's what I want you to do with this. If you have my activity book, remember who the fuck you are. There are multiple practices inside each of the portals, the 7 portals that you go through that can help you with this. But even without the activity book, even without that, find a moment this week, quiet, alone, with paper if you can, and write the name of the mother or grandmother, biological or chosen, who comes first to mind when you think about the woman whose survival shaped you. It may not be your mother or grandmother, it may be some other figure in your life. Write that name down and then write 3 things that she survived as specifically as you can allow yourself to go. And notice I said allow yourself to go. We're not forcing anything. This is about what you actually can hold and being gentle with yourself as you do that. And then write the assignment that she passed to you, the stated or unstated thing that you have been carrying on her behalf. And then, and this is the part that takes courage, write 2 words next to the assignment, mine or hers. If it is a mine, what do I do with it? From a place of choice rather than obligation. If it's hers, how do I honor her without completing something that was never designed to be truly completed by me? There is no wrong answer. There is only the beginning of a conversation with your lineage, with your ancestral mothers that have been waiting for you to start. Take a deep breath. Know that you come from women who survived things that they had no business having to survive, things that technically were unsurvivable. You carry proof in the fact that you exist. What you do with what they passed you is one of the most sacred questions of your life, and you have a choice. So I invite you to come get your love letters from the Ancestral Mothers. These are 7 free emails written with the wisdom of the 7 portals, the wisdom of the Ancestral Mothers. And again, it's free, and the link is in the description. You go to remember.beautifulpowerfullove.com and you can sign up there. And also, remember who the fuck you are. The activity book is where the portal work lives, the 7 portals, written exactly for this type of excavation. And that's also in the description at shop.beautifulpowerfullove.com. You could also get it on Amazon, but don't. Now, go see Is God Is. Aleshea Harris has made something really special, and it deserves your presence in the theater. And when you've seen it, come back and watch the other video I made, the one where we go into the breakdown and talk about the Iami and Shango and symbolism around the divine feminine, capitalism and Christianity, and all of that and what's it doing in the film. That video is in the description and it's linked here, is waiting for you. But definitely go and enjoy the movie and sit with it and come up with your own thoughts. I'd love to hear from you in the comments how this has made you think about your own journey, your own relationship and assignments that you've received consciously or unconsciously. And then after you see the movie and watching the next video, I want to hear from you that too. What do you see? What did you see? What did you think? And in the meantime, I want to thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I say this every time that you being here with me is you helping to witness me so that I can step more fully into my actual assignment here, which is doing work like this. So I'm grateful for you to be here, and I'm grateful that you also are looking into fulfilling your assignment, because that's what we need. We need everybody on deck being who they came here to be in order to lead us in the right direction, in order to lead this planet in the good direction. So, with that, again, I thank you. And as always, take good care of you. I'll see you in the next video.